In this video, I want to go over all the different permissions that are available inside of the VMS, as well as the different roles that we have that have those groupings of permissions. So real quick, going across the top, we have a contact area, so contact related items. So whether you have the ability to edit a contact, add new contacts, which can be done, for example, if let's say you have the city of Denver and you want to add the public works person as a contact because that's someone that you may speak with fairly often, or you have a meeting with them or a phone call and you want to be able to record that in the system. You would add that person as a contact, put them under the city of Denver account, and then put in notes as to like what you guys talked about, that kind of thing. Deactivating contacts is the ability to literally, like when you're looking at a contact record, if it's somebody that is no longer with the organization for whatever reason, you can select them and then hit the deactivate button at the top and they will go away from all the other lists. So that's what that one does. Being able to view the background check status for vetting reasons, the membership group has that, and the people that are approvers have the ability to do that. Being able to export information. This is kind of a biggie because everything we do is nationwide. The people that have the ability to export would also be able to, for example, export the entire list of contacts. And so it's something that you don't want to give to anybody, like just anybody. You want to make sure that this is a trusted person that has a business need and requirement to be able to do that, because they could accidentally export the entire list of people's email addresses, etc. So you want to be very careful who you grant that access to or who you request that access be granted to. Same with the people that are able to see address 1 and 2. Those are the secured fields like this, for example. Right now only membership would be able to see those, and we're talking about potentially adding it to the event approvers as well. The DDROs and some of the other territorial staff already have that permission as well through a different role that you don't see here. And so that's why they don't have it here right away. Then we have an event area, and so the first one is if you're able to edit all the events nationwide, and the first 3 are only able to edit the ones that they own, same with the last one. But these ones by default, because they have the ability to edit some of the event, we have to also grant them access to be able to edit a lot of other places inside the event form, and it's nationwide. So that means that somebody from the Northwest logs, for example, could go edit something from the Northeast, some event. However, that being said, everything inside of the event form is being audited, or at least most fields are being audited. So if you find that someone from the wrong territory is in there doing something, you can bring it to their DDRO's attention, or try to figure out like why that person is in there. The ability to approve events is granted to the event approval people, as well as anybody that's a master list editor, and we'll talk about that in a minute. The ability to save as a template. These are the regional templates that are built into the event form. We only want a very small handful of people to be able to save those as templates, and so for now it's pretty limited, and as people get trained up we might open it up to some of the other roles. The ability to lock PEX funding is kind of a low priority thing, but inside the event form there's a special field inside of the finance area that allows you to lock something, so that if something's already been approved, you can lock those PEX fields so that nobody can go back in later and continue to edit them. So if like $500 was approved, and in this case this one's already locked, so we got $4,600 worth of stuff that's approved, and you can see not even I can go in and change it. That's because this PEX field is locked. So that's just, these are the roles that have the ability to do that. The ability to edit master lists right now is with the master list editors, and this is where they can change the people that are applied as the different points of contact. Like if we go into the metro, for example, and I'll pick Seattle, the master list editors are able to adjust all these fields, so they can change, for example, what state that metro's in, who the approvers are, who the logs comms training and finance reps are, who the different points of contact are for like who the volunteers would see as their points of contact. And so master list editor has that, as well as a bunch of other permissions, because these are going to be probably the go-to people as we get started here, that are going to be helping with a lot of the heavy lifting at the regional level, walking people through the event management process, and helping to organize the information so that all the right people are in the correct area of those lists. Creating dashboards is just the ability to create a custom dashboard inside of the actual dashboard area. So if you go to dashboard, not everybody's going to have this new button, and that's because of training. We didn't want to have to train everybody quite yet, because it is pretty tricky. So for now, most people are going to be fine with the default dashboard options, and there's a few people that, if there is a need, those few people inside the territories will be able to create additional dashboards and go from there. Same with charts, so charts are in the same boat. One thing we have to keep track of is there's going to be a very limited number of people that can be master list editors, and I need to work with them in order to make sure that they understand the gotchas and how not to mess certain things up, because they're going to have a little bit more elevated access compared to most people. And the ability to export is a big deal, because they will have access to pretty much every list that's in there. So be very careful with who you put forward. In this case, what I'd like for the regions to do is simply look at the different roles, get the blurb, take a look at what they're able to do, and then fill in the names of who you want to be for your particular territory. Who do you want to be in that particular role? Approvers is a little bit tricky because there's 4 different levels, but these are in line with the current levels of financial approval abilities. And so, for example, if you're an associate, you can approve up to $500. We have that synonymous with approver level 2 whenever you're looking at an event. Let's see if I can find an event that has that level of approver. Yeah, so 2700, this probably has a few levels of approval. So you can see level 1, 2, 3, and 4 are here. And so they would basically be the same people that are in these lists. So another couple things to note is that anybody at approval level 1 can approve at approval level 1 nationwide. So somebody who is set up as a level 1 inside the Northwest could also go approve something in the Southeast. So again, something that gets audited. If you want to see where the auditing is, you'd hit this drop down inside the event, go to audit history, and then you'd see all the different things that happened, who did it, what they changed, and the ability to kind of see the delta between the two. So for right now, we don't have it set up as granular as roll call is, or Cornerstone is, because we wanted for it to be very transparent. So as a byproduct of that, people do have the ability to approve across the nation, as well as these people have the ability to edit across the nation as well. So just heads up for that. So just go through, take a look at what the role is, put in the names of the people that you want. We'll get them added, and then we'll be able to go from there. And we'll keep this list for a while. So, a few months from now, if we still want to make changes, what I will do is I will attempt to make the system look as close to what is listed here as possible. But you're going to have to let me know if you add or remove something so that we can make the change. So we're going to have a more formal process for additions and removals as part of the leadership onboarding and offboarding stuff that will be in phase 2. And so be on the lookout for that. So for right now, you'd want to send a note to Mike Prill to make any of these changes. I'll take a look at this sheet first, and then once this is locked in, a simple email to me or a help desk ticket to add or remove somebody should suffice until we get a more formal system and share it with the group. That's it for now. If you have any questions, hit me up directly. You should have my contact info on the screen here, and we'll see you later.